What's up, what's up? Yeah. I don't know. Don't have intros. Just fucking around. About to play Grand Theft Auto on PS3. I'm broke as fuck, don't got a PS4 or whatever. Yeah. My name's Josh, Big J, whatever you want to call me, J. So, yeah. Just beat GTA 5 for the second time. I'd say the playthrough was just as good as the original first time I played, but, you know. I don't know. Hold on a second, I'm gonna go shut my door. We are back. Yeah. Nothing's going on in life. Life's good. Where is it? I just got this off an auction site. Vintage Game Boy Color. Used to have the lime green one. Long time ago, or whatever green it was called. I think it was lime green. Lost it. You know, I was kind of disappointed at the time, more than likely. I don't remember. But it would have pissed me off, I know that, because it was one of my favorite things. Used to play, I don't know where the game is. I got it. Where the fuck did I put it? Pokemon Yellow was my shit. Played it all the time. I beat it. This isn't the original one I had. I know I lost that one. But great game. Used to play some other games. I still have some of the original ones that we actually had. Found throughout the house. Batman. Dr. Mario. They're not in the best condition, some of them, but they do run. Tom and Jerry. And in here I've got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And on my dresser, I don't want to go get it, I have Pokemon Pinball. Decent games. What I did get with the Game Boy, though, is this game, which I can't figure out. It's called Gex 3 Deep Pocket Gecko. If anybody knows anything about that, you can leave it in the comments if it's a good game. I can't fucking figure it out. You're supposed to stay on these pads to go to these levels, but I can't get it to work. And one game that I had for the N64, never had it for Game Boy, is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I think it's like the first one. This one's okay. It really limits what you can do in it. It's basically like a vert contest and shit. Ah, fucker. Yeah, I have been playing a lot of story mode, just fucking around. Oops. So yeah. Basically, this is a video I'll probably upload to YouTube, so you should see it if anyone watches it. And this is basically, I'm going to try some editing and shit. I don't have any software, so I'm going to be using iMovie. I've heard it works. And I don't have an Elgato capture card, so no, I cannot record this. Also, my disc is a little dirty, so it may freeze and piss me off. Which, all in all, I guess, isn't too bad. But really and truly what I'm doing right now is I'm trophy hunting. I'm working on certain trophies, like I think one of them is complete all pastimes and activities with all the characters, which is, shouldn't be too hard, but it's kind of a boring one. Another one is I need to do a special cab fare with, Franklin. Yeah, I didn't really give a shit about Franklin, to be honest. He was cool, but to be honest, I think he was this is going to sound a little fucked up, I know. He was the token black character. Because think about it. There's always been, from what I've noticed in a lot of GTA movies, someone of another race. Like African American, Asians, and so on and so forth. They're not always just white Americans. There was Nico Bellic, think about it, Russian, and so on. There was, I can't think of his name. I think his name was Little Roman or something. The Jamaican guy from GTA 4, and so on and so forth, you know? And sure, Franklin's cool, but he's not my favorite. I always liked Trevor. Trevor represented the way I played GTA. The way I played GTA is I just ran around, murked people, murdered them, you know? just had a good time playing. Trying to, God damn it, fix some stuff here. Nope. Oh, there we go. Minimize that. I'm testing new stuff here. Yeah. Seeing if I can actually, record with music on without it playing. But, yeah, Trevor was just really fun to play with. You never knew what was going to happen. You'd wake up on the side of a mountain with Trevor, and he'd be drunk. And, you'd get attacked by a cougar. It was just the way Trevor was. Yeah. Other games that I love to play are like Call of Duty, Madden. I did play Madden, but I kind of got bored of Madden. I do play sports games every now and then, and just games like that. Little Big Planet's one of my favorites. It's an all-around good game. The design was good, and it was, you'd think, Little Big Planet's a little kid's game. That is complete bullshit. There's just so much you can do with it, and the creative aspect of it is what got me. I've always been kind of creative. I'm not good at art per se, but I like the aspects of art and shit, and I love a lot of that. Yeah. You learn a lot. Not learn a lot playing the game, but it's really in-depth with how well they designed the game and what they did to the game to make it a good game. They didn't just go like, I like Call of Duty, but year in and year out, it's gotten to be the same. And I know everyone will say blah, 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 blah. They have their comments on Call of Duty. The multiplayer is going to be the same year in and year out, but I don't buy it just for multiplayer. I don't buy games just for the multiplayer. I buy them a lot for the single player. Like, if I don't just buy a game because it's going to be a good single multiplayer game. No, I want something that if I get bored of multiplayer, I can go into single player and play. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 and all the Grand Theft Autos I had online 4, which I never really played online. Grand Theft Auto is a perfect example. They give you 1,000,001 things to do, and you never get bored. And if you do, then I don't know what's wrong with you. There's just a lot you can do in Grand Theft Auto before it gets repetitive. And I've found that to be true. There's so much to explore. The maps are so expansive. Yeah, and I have played Grand Theft Auto on the PS4. My friend Chris has a PS4, and I've signed in and played online, so yeah, there's that. I am working on getting a PS4, I actually need a job, which brings me into another cool subject. Whoa! GTA is glitching. A Gone Postal or Go Postal truck is like sinking into the ground and bouncing around. There we go. Interesting. But, yeah. Getting a job in America is, when you're 21 with little to no job experience, actually 22, excuse me, is a pain in the ass. And it's really annoying. I try. I apply, and I put my shit out there. But I just get rejected, And it's really, really annoying. I mean, day in and day out, I strut my shit. I go and apply, and I do everything that they tell you to do. I do everything they want you to do. Hold on. I'm trying to tow a car off the, off the train tracks in GTA. But I do what they require of you. They tell you do this, and I say yes. And I don't know what they want from you. They just, you do everything they tell you to do. And as soon as you do what they want you to do, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you don't fit our standards. You don't qualify for what we want. But you do everything they want you to do to a T. It's like, what more do they want? I've done everything they want me to do. How am I supposed to stand out when they don't tell me what they're looking for besides, like, their curriculum? Like, they say they want one thing, but they don't tell you, it would help if you had this. Shit. Like, I'm an Eagle Scout. They say that helps, and I'm sure it does, but it hasn't it hasn't done its justice for me yet. I've tried this, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep putting my shit out there, keep working, day in and day out. I'm gonna hustle my shit till I get a job. I want to be able to live on my own, support myself. I don't want to live under my parents' roof the rest of my life, and I'm sure most of you don't either. I have dreams too. I have excuse me, I'm a little sick, I think. I have ADD, and so my dreams are constantly evolving and changing. It's like, I want to do one thing, and the next minute it's like, oh, no, I want to do this. And I'm always just dreaming and thinking of bigger, better, stronger, crazier, cooler things. My brain's moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute, and I don't know how to control it. But that's just life. Other than that, I guess, life's been pretty good for me. I mean, I have a source of income. It's not bad. I donate plasma for money, and they pay me. But that's boring. Like, you just sit there for like an hour, and it's usually a 2 to 3 hour process, depending on how busy I am and shit. And yeah, that's about it. I sit there. Well, first things first, you gotta take a little survey every time. Are you feeling well today? Just general questions and stuff. And once they say you're good to go for the day, you get in line, and you're like, okay, what next? You wait in line, then you go into a screening room. Once you're in the screening room, you sit down. They ask you if you've been to any Ebola-infected areas like Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and you say no, and you're good to go. After that, you go back there and you wait. They print off some papers and they'll call your name, and they'll say, Josh, blah 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 blah. Which arm do you want to donate from today? And I always alternate. So I go, if I donate my left arm, then I go my right arm the next time. And then you sit there for a few minutes. They ask you, are you allergic to iodine? I'm not sure what the iodine really does, but I say no. And they say good. So they put some iodine on you. They put a blood pressure cuff on you. And you sit down, or while you're laying down. And then they find your vein and they stick a needle in there. And I have issues where I have very, very deep veins. So no matter how much water I drink, they constantly have small issues with me. And I'm used to it by now. So they'll stick you and then you sit there and you're good to go. And then when the blood pressure cuff releases, you can relax. But as it tightens on your body, you have to sit there and you have to go like this and kind of pump. They call it pumping. So you pump the the plasma into it, and then they have to return your blood to you because that would be bad. They're taking blood out. Whoops! Shit! I killed myself. Fuck! I pulled out the grenade launcher by accident when I was trying to pull out a sticky bomb. It's fine. So you do that. And afterwards, the place I go to, the first 5 times you get $50, and afterwards, every time you donate, you get $20. You can donate twice a week, every week. So basically, you can donate unlimited, but it's twice a week, and you have to wait a day in between. So I donate personally because this is the best days for me to do it. Tuesdays, and then I donate Saturdays. So I go in on Tuesday, hang out, hang out, donate, and then on Saturday, I donate again. And the next week I have to do it the same because that's my rotation schedule. If I wait like 3 weeks, I can donate Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I like to do it Tuesdays and Saturdays. It's easiest personally for me. Yeah. And it's just easy money. The only thing is you can't move your arm while you're donating. So if I'm donating in this, my right, or no, this is my left, sorry. If I donate in my left arm, it's laying flat like this, and I can't move it. So I gotta go like this with my other arm, and I can use my phone. You can text, but you can't call for whatever reason. You just hang out, you just lay there, and they usually have movies playing. Last time I was there, they were playing Harry Potter. I think it was the third one. I don't remember exactly which one, but yeah, you can choose to watch as I don't. I usually either watch YouTube videos or I listen. A lot of times, since I'm just lazy, I just relax listening to music. You also cannot sleep. They make that very clear. They don't want you falling asleep because you have to pump. And I don't know the exact details of why, but they get really mad if you fall asleep. I've yet to fall asleep, but they will yell at you from what I've heard. It's not bad. If you don't like needles, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, while you're in the screening room, they take one of your fingers and they prick it with like a little blood thing, and they take a small vial of blood and they put it in a centrifugal machine, I think is what it is, and they test your blood for something of what I'm not sure. What the hell? Oh, I didn't recognize the car for a second. And you just sit there and it's whatever. That's the part that I hate the most, actually, because I am afraid of needles. So I'd always turn my head away when they prick my finger, and then after they get the blood, they give you a little cotton swab that you put it on your finger to stop the bleeding, which isn't too bad. Yeah. So once that's all done, like I said, you just go sit back there, and they'll give you a chair if they have. And it depends on how busy they are and all this. You could be there 2 hours. When I go, it takes about a couple hours, which isn't bad. It's a good time waster, too. What the? Oh. I keep buying, these, GTA keeps saying these cars are mine, but they're really not. They're cars that I'm just using. Stolen cars to go pick up cars from the impound lot. Offline with Franklin. But, it's kind of boring, but it's easy money, it's free money, and I don't have to do shit for the money, but just sit there. So, I like it. I mean, yeah. I just bought online for, I want to say $11. Well, it was about $5-6 plus shipping. I bought, I don't know how many of you will know this. Game Mario, Super Mario Land 2 and the 6 golden coins for Game Boy Color. Yeah. I used to have that game when I was a kid, and going back to my ADD, I had real bad ADD, and my parents used to make me go to church every Sunday, which, looking back, it was nice they made me go, because I learned a lot, but with my ADD, I could not concentrate, so I didn't like it. So I would always be sitting there playing that. My dad would yell at me and tell me to get off my Game Boy, and I was like, no. And I hated it, I just hated not being able to concentrate and shit, and it drove me nuts. But my mom would let me play, and it's one of the games that I used to play all the time. And so Goodwill, for those of you who didn't know, they have an auction site. That's where I got my Game Boy and the 2 games. Gex 3, Deep Pocket Edition, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I got that paid $11 in total for the system and the 2 games, and it was about $22, $23 with shipping. Which is, if you think about that, a really good price. So I was like, sure, I'll buy it. Bought it, purchased it. And then I got, like I said, Super Mario Land 3 and the 6 golden coins for around $11 in total with shipping. I gotta go donate so I can get the money to pay for that. But it's something that I used to play all the time as a kid. It will stick with me. It was one of my favorite games. I don't know if I ever beat it. I may have, but it was just a really good Mario game. I'm a big Mario fan, and I love retro gaming. A lot of people don't know that about me. My first system I ever played was an NES, which is the Nintendo Entertainment System, the first system. We actually have 2 of them at my house. We don't have the cords for 2, we have cords for 1. Yeah. Oh, custom controller I bought off eBay. The paint's peeling, but I don't give a fuck. It still looks cool. So yeah, my dad owned one, and I played that, and I loved it. And then, I was probably about 3 to 4, maybe 5. I got my Game Boy Color, my lime green Game Boy Color for my birthday. And I was the most ecstatic kid ever. I was like, let's go, baby, you know. And I got Pokemon Yellow, and I freaked. If I can find it, I'll show you. I still have it somewhere back here. It's disappeared somewhere in my room. Maybe I can't find it. Is that it? No. Come on, baby. Yeah, if you're wondering what I've got in the background, just some posters and stuff on my wall. I got nothing. Dang it. But what I was trying to find is I have a Pokemon, case. Basically, it's a case about this, and it's got a blue strap. It's yellow with a blue zipper, and it has Pikachu on it. I don't know where it is, but it holds Game Boy. It can hold any Game Boy you have, pretty much. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Advance, SP, DS. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't know where that is. I got that, and to this day, for some reason, I still have it. I actually have a few things here and there from my childhood. Yeah. Have that somewhere. Another cool thing I've got, but it's on the subject of Pokemon, is this thing. It is a Pikachu piggy bank. It's a little dirty, but that comes with wear and tear and age. And the letters spell out Pika. There's coins in there, and it makes noise. Oops, excuse me. I don't know if you guys heard that. But, the back screws off, and when you put coins in, it's supposed to make noise, but it, over the years, kind of gotten dinged and damaged. Doesn't work. Oh, shit. I do have other Nintendo artifacts. We have, in my house, well, I have these in my room right now, 2 Game Boy Advance SPs. I have games for them. I don't have chargers at the moment. 3DS, good systems, you know. Nintendo's a staple in our household. I want to get a Wii U. Yeah, we have, like I said though, the NES, which is a great quality system, still runs great. We have a Super Nintendo. That's a good system with some games, and we have an N64, which was my first system. It was overall an amazing system. I loved it. So many great games. Super Smash Brothers, you know, Donkey Kong 64, South Park, Turok, Army Men, Sarge's Heroes was a good one. I just recently bought that too, ironically enough. Just an all-around, great system. I loved it. The thing we had an old one. Well, they're all old now, but the first one we had, for whatever reason, had an issue. You would go to play it, and it would work for a week. It would turn on for about a week, and eventually, I think it turned on for like an hour. And we could not play games on it. So what we did is there was a local video game store called Trade-A-Game. They have 2 stores, or had 2 stores. One store's out of business. The other one's still in business. We waited for a few months, got it to work. We took it in there with like 12 games and sold it to them. We screwed them because they weren't the best, but it was the only place you could get vintage games in town and stuff, like N64, Game Boy Color and such. And so we kind of screwed them. We got a bunch of in-store game credit. We bought games for our probably at the time PlayStation 1 or 2, you know. And it was awesome at the time. But ever since then, I regretted selling it, even though it was broken. I wanted to keep it. And then recently, I think 2 years ago, a year ago, I found a couple games that we had lost throughout time. We didn't sell. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing was one of them. The other one was, actually the other two were Diddy Kong Racing, which is a good game, but it's really fucking hard. And Tom and Jerry Fists of Fury, which is kind of like Super Smash Brothers, but with Tom and Jerry. And I think you could play as the dog Spike, but I'm not 100% sure. And so I went searching around, and I got one at a pawn shop. And the thing about it was, the lady at the pawn shop didn't really know what she had. She knew she had a Nintendo 64. What she didn't know is it had an expansion pack in it. And so I got it for about $40 with I want to say, with one controller and all the cords and expansion pack. And I ended up buying Donkey Kong 64 for probably like $10, along with another controller. And ever since then, I've been so happy about it. Because that's just my childhood in a nutshell, was the N64. I mean, I used to play GoldenEye, Donkey Kong, you name it, Mario Kart. Sure, we have Mario Kart 64 and Mario 64 on our Wii, but it's nowhere near the same. Like, you don't get that nostalgia factor, you know? It will never be the same as actually playing it on the actual system. It's like, yeah, I can get Pokemon Yellow if I want it on my DS, 3DS, but you don't get the same, you know? It's never going to be the same. It will never be the same, like I was trying to say, as playing it on a Game Boy Color. You just don't have the same feeling. There we go. I got a cross here. I'm going to get hit by a car. Fuck you. Haha. And it's just an amazing, amazing experience to be able to have those old systems that you had as a kid. And you can show your kids, if you still have them, and be like, you may have had this, but I had to struggle when I played this. There is no light on the Game Boy Color. You had to, like, sit under a light, and it was a challenge when you were a kid. When you were supposed to be going to bed, you had to get the little Game Boy light and hide under your blanket, and your parents would walk in and play like you were asleep, and then when they left, that you'd turn on the Game Boy light under your blanket and play. Those were the days that I'll always remember, you know? And it's just a great system. But I mean, I love Nintendo. We own all original generations of Nintendo up till the Wii. We own an NES, like I said, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, and then a Wii. I want to get a Wii U, and I want to continue my collection. I want to get like a DS, a DSi, you know, and all that. And I want to get like I want to get a Virtual Boy. I want to get stuff like that. Virtual Boys, granted, aren't as rare as you think they are, because they just found shipment a while back, but they're still cool. And I want to get like a Game Boy Micro. I had a Game Boy Advance, and God knows what happened to that. And I want to get the original Game Boy Color, or Game Boy, excuse me, and a few other things here and there, you know? Because I like collecting that stuff. I think it's cool. You preserve the history of what you may have grown up with, or, you know, and whenever I get the chance, if I see a cheap NES game at a pawn shop, I'll buy it. I don't care. May not be the best game, may be the most boring game ever, but I'll buy it. My dad and me were at a pawn shop 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago, and they had Uncle Fester's Quest. Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. And there have been mixed reviews. It's okay, it's shitty, you don't want to play it. They had it for 88 cents, and I'm like, you can't go wrong. Even if it's a shitty game, it's 88 cents of shit. So you're not going to go bankrupt over 88 cents, you know? And I thought that's badass, so I convinced my dad to pick it up, and we played it, and he personally doesn't like it. I find it challenging and fun, you know? And I think that's what it's about, is the hunt for the game, too. You can't just go and say, I want this game, and go and buy it on eBay right away, although sometimes that is the easiest. I like to hunt for the game. I go around to local pawn shops and trade a game and stuff, and I'll check in, hey, do you got this game? And if they don't got it, well, then you're kind of shit out of luck. If I can't find it in town, that's when I'll have to go online and try and find it. And that's part of it, is like, it makes it challenging, it makes it fun, it makes it different. Because back in the day, you didn't have internet, so what did you do when you wanted a game and they didn't sell it in stores anymore? You went to pawn shops, you went to those video game stores, and you had to check to see if they had it, and I like that. And it gives you a chance to get out and explore your town. I live in Washington, Spokane to be precise, and we have, I guess, now 2 vintage game stores that I know of. Trade A Game, like I said, and a newer one called Game World. And I haven't really visited Game World, but they're both nice. They both sell collectible video game stuff from all systems, including up into the modern. I know they have PS4 at Trade A Game, but Game World I can't vouch for. But they're nice stores. They have product, and they're not always reasonably priced, but sometimes if they're having a sale or stuff, you can like get them down on price with their sales, and they're really nice. Oh, nope. Delivering a car in GTA right now. Low. But yeah. There we go. But yeah. Excuse me, good sir. I just love vintage games in general. I think they're so much more fun. Nowadays, you can beat the games. Like, think about it. You can beat Call of Duty in a day. You can beat some of the older games in a day, but they're a lot more challenging than what the games are today. I mean, granted, they have games that are meant to be challenging. Really hard, like, I can't think of can't think of the name of the game, but like, there are games that are meant to test your abilities and skills. But nothing like the original games. You play those, and you may spend 3 hours on one level trying to beat it, wasting all your lives, getting back there, dying, and you just cannot beat this one stinking level, no matter what you do. And that's the way I prefer my games. They make them more challenging, more fun, and there's just more to do, in my personal opinion. And they're longer games, some of them. Like, I beat Saints Row 4. I got that a week before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. I beat it in the week leading up to GTA 5 because I was just like, oh, GTA 5 is going to be the shit. Granted, it was. I'm still playing it. But it was just too easy. I beat it in roughly probably a week and a half maybe, before GTA 5 came out. And I was like, okay, this is going to be dope. GTA, and granted, it was a good game, but, yeah, it was just too easy, in my opinion. I got probably a 90% on the game before Grand Theft Auto came out, and I set it aside, said it was a good, decent game, but GTA's here, and I'm going to play. And granted, I did spend a month playing GTA, but the way I play GTA may not be the way you play GTA. I play, and I hate doing missions. I prefer open world RPGs, I guess you'd call them, or open world sandboxes like this, like Grand Theft Auto, where you have 4 years to do the next mission. You can spend as long as you want doing the next mission, or as short as you want. I would do a couple missions, get bored, and then I'd just run around, mod cars, and fuck around. And that was how I played GTA. And I know a lot of my friends did the same. Why would you just do mission after mission when you can just go and explore? When I first got GTA, my friend Christopher came over, or Chris, whatever you want to say, and I got it midnight release. We were both there. His brother pre-ordered it, so he was going to get it for him and his 3 brothers. His brother Robert pre-ordered it for them. We all went there. We all got the posters and hung out. And I'm like, okay, I didn't get the special edition, which kind of sucks, because the special edition was really cool. And I was like, okay, let's go. Yeah, I didn't get the special edition, which kind of bummed me out, but I was like, I'm not too mad about it. I wanted it, but I didn't get it, so whatever. And day one of Grand Theft Auto, all I did was I did the tutorial missions, which are required, where you steal the cars with Franklin after you go to Michael's shrink, out, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's boring shit. So I did that, and I'm like, what do I want to do? I want to see the map. I want to see how big this map really is. They brag that it's a huge map. So I go and I drive out to the desert. I start driving, and all I did for the next 4 hours, because I pulled an all-nighter, was I went and explored the map. I did not care. I was like, I'm exploring this map. I'm going to find everything I can. And I did. I sat there and I explored and explored and explored and explored and explored. And I didn't stop. I just drove around. I didn't do a single mission leading up to that, besides the tutorials. And that's how I've always played GTA. Was you've got all the time in the world to do missions. Why not explore? Ow. I just had my chopper land on me. Nah, that's cool. And that's how I wanted to do it. And I was like, nothing's going to stop me. So I spent a good few hours just exploring. And I discovered that I went up on top of Mount Chiliad because I wanted to see also what the difference was between San Andreas and GTA 5. They're the same map. GTA 5, I like the style of GTA 5's map, but I miss San Andreas map. How you had redwood forests and all that, and you had Vegas and San Fierro. I don't know. I don't remember what San Fierro. San Francisco is what it really is. Sorry, had a little stupid fart. And it's different. I like in San Andreas that you had 3 different maps technically, but I like this one. It's a cool map nonetheless. There's still shit to do. Come on, I'm doing a triathlon in Franklin. Don't know why. It's one of the pastimes you got to do, I think. But yeah, I've been a fan of GTA. My favorite will have to be San Andreas. Has to be. I just played that when I was younger. My mom didn't really let me have it. I played the 2D first ones, not Vice City. It was either 2 or 3. One of my best friends, rest in peace, Dylan. When I went over to his house a long time ago, he had it and he let me play it. And I wanted it, so I went to Trade Game and bought it. And yeah, she didn't want me having San Andreas because she thought it was too inappropriate. Until my friend Tanner, big ups to him, came over with it and showed my mom the good side about it. There is no good side about it. We just drove around, and showed her it's kind of like a simulator. Lied to her, I think. It's kind of like a simulator of California and stuff. And she believed Tanner so much that I was able to get San Andreas. Granted, I broke it. I was stupid young. I thought money grew on trees. So, come on. So I kind of broke it, and I was pissed. I got another version. I got the special edition, which came with San Andreas, Vice City, and 3. My brothers wanted to use it, and I didn't think anything of it, and they broke it. So I got it again on my PS3. Beat that it took about 4 months to beat it. Not consecutively 4 months, but it took, consecutively 4 months, from September to January, we'll say. But within that 4 months, I only played maybe 12 hours. I kind of just played it. That one's challenging. Trying to beat this guy. He's got a decent lead, but I'm catching him. Yeah, I've been a Grand Theft Auto fan for a while, though. I've always liked it. And yeah, my mom finally allowed me to get it. Come on, finish line! Yes! I beat him. Just beat him. Boom. oh shit, run to the checkpoint to continue the race. I stood there thinking, but I've been a fan of GTA, Call of Duty, games like that. Zombies is amazing. I've always loved zombies since World at War. Best zombies. But Black Ops 1 zombies, I think, what they did with the storyline and stuff was really good. They were able to feed off of storylines like, Die-Rise or Die-Rise, what is Black Ops 3, The Giant, basically. And I'm not good at it, I'll admit, I'm not good, but I try to be, and they're fun nonetheless. Yeah, I got a whole wall full of posters over there, from 3 Vice City San Andreas, 5, including the pre-order 5 poster. I got a poster for Bully, one of Rockstar's most underrated games. In my opinion, it's their best non-Grand Theft Auto title. It was just so good. And then I got Pirates, Sid Meier's Pirates poster, Red Dead Redemption poster. That was really good, but like I said, Bully was really fun. Just running around knocking people out, stuffing them in trash cans, wedgies and stuff. It was a great game. And I really liked it. You could do a lot in it. Had a big map. I wanted one with a good sized map. I mean, when I first got it, the map was small, and I was kind of pissed. I'm like, what? You can't even leave the school. But further on inspection, you leave the school to go do missions and stuff. You take over the school, spoiler alert. And it's just a great game. It's fun. And the replay value is really good too, because if you have it on... The weird thing is, they released it for PS2 years ago. I don't know when. I gotta charge my phone just a second here. Ah, shit. Charge came undone. They released it for PS2, I don't want to say 2006, 7 maybe. And then the 360 came out later on, and the PS3 came out. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll probably won't be able to buy it because I don't own a PS3 yet. I own a 360, which is a better system all around. And, I'm like, okay, cool. No, it never showed up on PS3, and I'm like, why? They released a special edition. I don't know if it's really a special edition, but it was an edition that came out on Xbox 360. It's called, I guess it would be, it's called Scholarship Edition. They added a few new missions. I don't think they added any new weapons or new characters, but they added, well, they would have had to add new characters because they added new classes, such as math and geography. You can choose to do math and geography and all the other classes, or to get 100% like I'm trying to do right now, you have to do all the classes. And, I thought nothing of it, whatever. So I'll do the classes. Some of them are fun, and they help you with stuff like science class. You can make stink bombs and firecrackers, I think. Don't quote me on the firecrackers. But, yeah. It was a good game. You play as Jimmy. That was his last name. One of my favorite parts in the whole entire game, because when I got it, I was young, is in the opening title screen and stuff. They have words coming down like this, and the first letter in each sentence is bolded, and the first letter in spells out ass in one of the sentences, and me being young, naive little kid I am, I thought that at the time was a really bad cuss word, and was really fucking funny. And I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. Oh, this is not a convertible. Did not know that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like rolling around, laughing, thinking it's funny. And looking back at it now, excuse me, it was for my young Peabody brain. Damn it. Fucking cone, pylon, whatever you're gonna call it. Yeah. It was great. Just a great overall game. Ooh wee. And yeah, like I was saying though, sorry, I gotta itch my ear. Yeah, I'm using a fingernail clipper. Give me shit, I don't care. Yeah, it was just a fun game. Another game from my childhood that I really remember, really fucking liked. You know, it was one of those games that I could play again, and I bought it for that exact reasoning, just for the replay value. I liked it. That's one thing Rockstar is really good at. Their replay value on their games is amazing. You buy a game from them, and you can play it 5-6 times, and they're so vast and immersive, you'll forget a lot of shit. Oh, flip my car. It's okay, I'm alive. Listen to some music. I listen to a lot of music. I listen to some rock, punk rock, a lot of dubstep, a lot of modern music, a lot of rap, hip-hop and stuff. I do listen to some classical music, not much. Not classical as in like Beethoven or stuff, like what your parents would listen to, you know, rock and roll, some of that. Little Ozzy. I have an old Iron Maiden poster that my dad actually gave me. You can't see it, it's up there. Oh yeah. You know, and that's just me. Yeah. I've always been like a big fan of music and video games in general. I feel from depression because I get bored and I can't, you know, I've never really contemplated suicide, but, you know, I just don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like I belong anywhere in life and I hate it. But yeah, and music and video games have been a good way for me to cope with that. It helps me feel better about myself and, you know, it's just, I don't know. I can live out my fantasies through these video games and like Grand Theft Auto. If I murder somebody right now, I'm going to prison for 6 to 10 years. But if I'm in Grand Theft Auto and I murder somebody, what are the consequences? Virtual cops shoot and kill me? It doesn't affect you in real life. I don't feel it does. But, you know, it's like I was saying earlier, my friend Dylan, rest in peace, was murdered, and it was pure accident, you know? He was sitting at a friend's house, they'd been smoking a little weed, which I personally don't mind. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I live in Washington, of course, so I can, if I so choose, smoke it. But my friend Dylan was sitting there with his friend Jeremy McVicker's house, who I graduated with, and yeah, Jeremy McVicker had a 9mm, took out the clip, cocked it back, and look, it's unloaded, pulled the trigger, shot my friend Dylan, point blank range in the head. And, you know, Dylan didn't make it. And Jeremy panicked. He didn't know what to do, so he took the body down the stairs. And he tried to chop up the body, you know. He didn't know. He just panicked and didn't know what to do. And it's horrible. I mean, I was in kindergarten with Dylan. I was in Boy Scouts with Dylan. And, you know, He's just sitting in probably Olympia State Penitentiary for 7 years, convicted of murder. And at the hearing, he broke down and cried. He was literally in tears crying, saying he's so sorry because he had to face the family of the kid he killed. And he did not mean it. He goes, he was like, I heard he was just crying. He was hysterical. He didn't want to go to court for that reason. He didn't want to have to see the family. And it was pure accident. He freaked. He didn't mean this to happen, but it just did. And it was pure accident, He couldn't have predicted it was going to happen. And I still, to this day, haven't fully coped with it. I'll remember the day that I got the news, too. I'm on Facebook, and I'd heard from people, people were posting that Dylan had died, and I'm like, it's one of those stupid hoaxes and scams. Somebody's just bullshitting. I'm like, okay. Later that night, everyone on Facebook said he died by gunshot to the head, and I'm like, okay, Later that night, they said local 18-year-old, probably 19, I think, dies from gunshot to the head, and the kid tried to hide the body and chop it up, and I'm like, that's exactly what I heard on Facebook, and if the local news is reporting it, then it's true. And I remember calling my mom, and this will always just stick in my mind forever. It's one of those days I just want to forget, but I can't. I remember calling my mom, and I'm like, Mom, Dylan died. And I just sat there in disbelief, and she's crying on the phone, and I couldn't say anything. I didn't know what to do. I was like, there's no way. I've known this kid since kindergarten. How is he gonna die? How? What? What did he do to deserve this? He didn't. And I felt bad because his mom got a text saying that he was gonna go to his friend's house, and afterwards he'd be home, and they were gonna hang out. It's something to that extent. And she's got to live with that, Her son's gone, and there's nothing she can do to bring him back. It's just horrible, and I hope I never have to relive that moment. I hope that none of my friends ever die before me. I couldn't deal with it, and it's just one of those things that you don't ever you never think will happen to you. It's like you hear about it and you feel so bad that, oh, this kid was only 12 years old, he died. This is never going to happen to me. I know it's not. And the next thing you know, your friend's on the news, dead, and you don't have anything to, there's nothing you can do. He's just gone. You don't even get to say goodbye. You don't even get to say, I miss you. I can't even confront his parents. What the hell? Every time I even think about his parents, it just kills me. I've yet to fully even, cry, I still truly believe, to this day, don't believe he's dead, and that was roughly 2 years ago. I haven't been able to cope with it, and it's something I don't think I ever will. It's one of those things that you just don't ever foresee happening, and when it does happen, you're in disbelief. I've known him since kindergarten, like I said. He was one of the nicest people ever. Sure, when he got into high school and stuff, and I was in high school or middle school, we didn't hang out as much. But I knew I could count on him if I needed him for anything ever in my life, and he would have been there. He would have said, yeah, I'm there for you, bro. And I just can't believe to this day that he passed. It's one of those things that I don't know, man. But it's crazy. One day you're here and the next you're gone. Kind of like my grandpa, man. I was camping. One day I'm camping, I get a phone call, my grandpa's dead. He was sick. He was just sick. And when you're older, you kind of get into that mode of, I don't want to go to the hospital because you're old. You're going to be in the hospital for weeks on end because you're old. So he said to my mom, I'm not going to the hospital. You can fight me tooth and nail, but I am not going. And my mom said, fine. She gave up. Middle of the night, he just stopped breathing. So my mom called 911 and started to give CPR, and nothing. She couldn't save him. So we get a call early that morning, and my mom's like, he's dead. You know? That's another one of those things where you were just talking to him and he was perfectly fine. And next thing you know, he's gone. And it's horrible. You're just sitting there one day, and boom, the guy you just talked to is passed. You know, and I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to, do anything. It was just boom, he's gone. And I would have loved to have said goodbye. He was one of my favorite people on earth. You know? And I'll never get that chance until I die myself to talk to him. And it's horrible. I hated it. And I feel bad. I know he's there watching me, man. But I'll never get that chance again to talk to him until I pass. And it's a horrible feeling, man. But at least I'm able to vent about it. It makes me feel so much better. And that's what I love about YouTube. And, well, YouTube in general. And places like this. I can share my stories and I can vent. And it's great. But those are two people that I'll never get talked to again. And it kills me that I didn't get to say goodbye. Or even get to see him before they died. I mean, one of the last memories I have of Dylan was working on his Eagle Scout project. I don't know if he went to this church, but there was a church near his house, and we installed a cross, and installed planets and lights for it, a white cross. I worked for like 2-3 days on that with him. And after that, we kind of drifted. I'll never get to say how much of a friend he was. I'll never get to talk to him again. And it just eats at you. And I just want to be able to hear his voice. Talk to him one last time. Same with my grandpa. I'll never get that back. That's something that I really miss. Though they were both big people in my life, and I'll never again get to speak with them, see them, or talk to them until I die. And I'm just not ready for that. I'm just not ready to die, But I'm gonna miss those two more than anything. And I think about them almost daily, and it kills me. And I don't care what the hell you say in the comments about me being a pussy or a woman. These people touched me. And if you knew them, they would have done the same to you. They were some of the nicest people on earth. And I'll never forget them. I just want to say, though, thanks for letting me vent my shit on YouTube. Thanks for listening. If you do make it this far, you guys are fucking awesome. And thanks for everything. Even my 2 subscribers to if I ever reach 1 million. I just want to say thanks for being there. You guys are awesome.